let's shift gears. I'll stick with you, Amaro. Let's go to Class 2. We got 2 Philly schools that have had some, let's say, tension this year on track. If they both win out, they'll run into each other, I think, again.
They will in the States.
We got MCS.
Oof.
And we got, what's the other one? Constitution.
I would say for the last 7 or 8 seasons, these two have been bitter rivals.
Mm-hmm. Very bitter.
Savon Goodman was there in Constitution in 2012. They beat MCS 3 times that year, put them out of the playoffs. I think MCS might have played 4 times. They won 3 out of 4. The following year, MCS was nationally ranked with Lump Wortham and Quadair Welton and Malik Starks and that whole crew. And they beat Constitution 3 or 4 times that year. So they've been very bitter rivals that year. Since for the last 7 to 8 years with the new public league. And nothing's going to change. What I do see, though, is there's a big roadblock before these two teams were to play each other, especially for MCS. They should get by their first round game against Panther Valley. Second round, they're going to have to see either Halifax from District 3 or Christopher Dock. Christopher Dock is definitely capable of beating MCS. No doubt in my mind.
Yes.
Just because of the style of play, they're going to slow the game down. MCS wants to get up and down. MCS can't get caught in playing their style. They got to make those guys run. If they don't, they're in for a long night, and it can go down to the wire. And Christopher Dock is not going to miss foul shots in the fourth quarter. It's just not going to happen. So that's going to be a tricky spot for them. That's a very tricky spot for MCS. Them beating Constitution for the district championship, it actually didn't serve them well.
No.
Because I think Constitution has an easier road in that 12-2 seed. Delco Christian in the first round, they'll handle them. They'll handle them with no problem. In the second round, Bishop Guilfoyle was always pretty good from up in the cold region. But I don't think Constitution will have any trouble there either. I mean, with the type of schedule they've played. And I just don't see anything standing in Constitution's way. I mean, Paul Robeson's a good team, but I think they're a year away. They're a year away. They're a good team. They have 20 wins on the season. Rob Powell's the coach, real good guy, real good friend of mine over the years. But I don't see any real roadblocks for Constitution from getting to the state semis. MCS they could have an issue, like I said, in that second round game, with either of those teams.
Should they end up meeting one another, you care to make a prediction?
I think Constitution wins. I think Constitution is the better team. Obviously, they're not like leaps and bounds better, but I think they're a little better team. I think they're more senior laden. It took MCS a buzzer beater, prayer 3 to beat them in the third meeting. I believe Constitution won the first 2 meetings this season, and I think Constitution will win the 4th meeting. So I do see them getting to the state final against somebody from out west. I don't know. I don't really know much about
Sewickley Academy.
Yes,
Sewickley's always good. They're always competent.
And they are the defending 2A champions. And I just wanted to actually make that note that the 1 and 2A, each team in the finals will head to Hershey. Now, remember last year, because of the new classification, teams will start playing an extra day. That means we will not have games Friday and Saturday now. We'll have games Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 2 o'clock, by the way, is 1A. 2 o'clock is Friday for 2A. I see Sewickley Academy, another defending champions out of the Pittsburgh area. Win Palmer has done a phenomenal job again, a 21-win season, and his leading scorer is junior Nate Ridgway. So, Amaro, you make a valid point that each of the last 7 years, Math, Civics, and Science and Constitution have been the team to represent Philadelphia that has gone on to play in the final. So, if anybody's going to represent Philadelphia, it's going to be between one of these two teams.
You like if Sawicki gets out of there, who you like in that matchup between?
That's what's interesting about that, Del Greco. And gentlemen, I will have to go with, and after what I saw last year, Sawicki overpowered Constitution last year. Although Constitution did play a very good first half, it did seem like Sawicki started getting hot at the right time. If they do that again, I see yet another state title coming back to Pittsburgh.
Well, one of the things that I see is, and I want everybody, to one of the most underrated leagues in this area this year has been the Bicentennial League. And, that's the league with Valley Forge, Church Farm, Lower Moreland, team we just talked
Delco
about.
Christian.
Delco Christian, Christopher Dock, and the Division I Faith Christian. Holy Ghost Prep. So it's teams that are they're battle tested. Because Valley Forge has tremendous height. So I don't think they're going to be fearful of the height. They have a great guard in Ariane Lewis. So Delco Christian, while I would say Constitution is definitely the favorite there, they're not going to be scared. And one of the things that I always say when you go into state games is you have to watch how the games are officiated. The games are officiated a lot differently in the state playoffs. So you see that this game is being played at Council Rock South. It's being played in the suburbs area. So they will probably have suburban referees. So the hand checks, the physical play is probably not going to be something that's going to be available to some of these city teams.
But I mean, MCS and Constitution been dealing with this now for, like y'all said, they adjust to
They're very much used to it. I don't think that'll be an issue.
Constitution's best player is Damon Wall. Damon Wall hasn't dealt with it. So it's a lot different going into that atmosphere than just playing in, where he has played. Now, not saying that he can't adapt. I think that he's a very good basketball player, taking nothing away. And I think he will be a difference maker in these playoffs. But the one thing that I always say is be very careful because all of these teams have gotten better. Christopher Dock, like you said, MCS, 50-50 game, depending on if MCS can dictate the tempo, we'll give MCS the edge. If Christopher Dock, led by Mike Fergus and Marcus Etheridge, can dictate their tempo, they're going to have problems. So, I think that it should be interesting. First round games, to me, are always going to be the most interesting ones because we're going to see how things kind of fall from there. But I'm going to go with Sawicki Academy repeating as champions. And I also agree with Amaro. I think Constitution will be the one to represent the East.
So another rematch.
I do think it's going to be another rematch.
And I do like the fact that...
we got dynasties at work here.
Well, I certainly believe that between the two schools, between Math Civics and Constitution, we certainly will have, and that seems to be, for the past at least decade, one of those two teams has gone on to represent the city of Philadelphia. And as we like to tell people, it's Philadelphia versus the state. And I'm just really excited what we're going to get out of this city, especially out of these two teams. And it should be a great war Tuesday night. I imagine that game will be at possibly Gallagher, could be at Ben Franklin, but we know it's going to be at a great site. One way or another, it's going to be.
I would slow down on that.
You're going way too fast.
MCS has to get by that second round game.
Well, don't forget Constitution and Delco Christian could be a very good first round game as well.
I don't think they have any trouble with Delco Christian.
No,
but I do see MCS having some serious issues with
Panther Valley.
No, they won't have any issues with them.
Christopher Docker, Halifax.
Halifax, they're District 3. And
District
they're
3's tough.
And they're 24-2. Now I'm not sure who they play out there.
Yes.
But District 3 is always pretty tough in the Harrisburg area. And that relative area. So you never know who's going to come out of there. Harrisburg, York, somewhere, Reading area. You never know.
I definitely think we're in agreement. Sawicki Academy repeats as champions once again.
Sawicki wins.